still listening to the rap artists, and the rap artists are great, but now there's new rappers out here, and they're called real estate investors.
Yeah.
They're called business savvy people, like the guys who are doing the credit and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There are now people wanting to be on stage and doing things that involves business. So we're basically the new artists.
Elaborate on that. I guess I've never kind of heard that terminology or just comparison. Has this a concept that kind of emerged recently in, I don't know, the last 10 years?
It's the awareness. I remember when comedians first came out.
Yeah.
They were like, you had guys who were singing. And that's the only concerts that we knew of.
Okay.
So when comedians came out, they said, man, we're going to go listen to people laugh and have fun on stage.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a little similar.
All right, welcome everybody to the Speak Your Life podcast. My name is Andre. I'm your host. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast to get your weekly content every single week, whether you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. We are growing our YouTube channel. We want you to join and become a part of the Speak Your Life family. All right, today's special guest is he used to play in the NBA. He used to play for professional basketball. He's done it all. Now he's doing real estate, doing it big, and he's helped a lot of people. Not only himself making money, but he's also helped a lot of other people make money. Please welcome Don Jacobs.
What's up, big dog?
Doing all right?
I'm doing great.
Good. How are you feeling out of 10? I always like to ask people, how are you feeling on a range of 1 to 10?
On a range of 10, I'm feeling like about 30.
30, okay.
Feeling like 100. Let's put it like that.
Especially
Absolutely.
being stuck in Atlanta traffic for a couple hours.
Man, that don't matter. I still feel 100.
That's good. No, that's good.
I'll be turning up every day.
That's good.
Every day is a good day, bro.
Man, I'm happy to hear that.
Every day is a good day.
Glad you're able to make it.
Me too. I appreciate the invite out.
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so you ready to speak your life?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. So what we usually ask everybody here in this podcast is there's two things that are important in life. There's the day you were born, and
right.
Two, the reason you knew why. So you don't have to give us a year or a day on the day you were born. If you want to, that's cool. If not, you just give us the era of what's going on in the culture during that time, and then give us that journey into how you understood why you were here put on this earth.
Well, I was born around the time Martin Luther King was, assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never been the pro-black guy. That just hadn't been me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the pro-fair guy.
Okay.
And I just know that that was an incredible era, during the JFK days, during the Martin Luther King. The feelings that we felt during those times was incredible because the emotions was all over the place. So that's the era I was born in. I was born in those times where it really made a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Not that now it doesn't, but
yeah.
The precedents that those guys set back then is just something we can't really relate to.
Mm-hmm.
So, I take my hat off to the families and to the guys that really made those sacrifices. Even though we're making sacrifices now, because it never ends. It's a different kind of sacrifice.
Yeah.
Theirs was more of a fear level.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of a fear level.
Mm.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine living through that type of fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my born time, when I was brought on the planet. But,
So give us that journey from that time to like some milestones to understanding why you were put in the position that you are now for real estate and everything that you're doing now.
Okay, it's definitely no coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in pretty much setting your own path. But God is definitely the foundation of that.
Yeah.
But I think this is definitely the real estate game was something I was born to do. The basketball game was something that I did because I enjoyed it. That was more something that was enjoyable because that was something I did for myself. When you play sports, a lot of times people don't understand you do that for you because you want to compete with yourself and you want to be the best for you.
Yeah.
The real estate game is something I did for my family, because it's more longevity.
Okay.
It's something I did for my friends and family and people that I came in contact with.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think as a human being, we have a responsibility to those around us to give them hope.
Yeah.
And I think hope is a huge word because without hope, you really don't have nothing.
True.
So for me personally, I've always wanted to spread that message of hope And that's one of the ways I always gave back was by giving other, especially black men, the hope of being able to be better than they thought they could be. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm about pushing the next guy. So
Nice.
I'm gonna push the hell out you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, when was your first house or property closing that you ever had? Like, do you remember that? Can you
Well,
give us that story?
first of all, when I was 16, I made a decision I was going to do real estate.
Mm.
I saw guys on TV playing basketball, so I said either I'm gonna play basketball and I'm gonna do real estate.
Mm.
And at the time, I was a water boy on the team.
Yeah.
You know, so I went home that summer, grew about 5 or 6 inches, came back. First year became All-American playing, and then from there, I was fortunate enough to be in a position where I could work hard enough.
Sure.
You know, to play professionally, which was a great thing. But my second dream was the real estate. And getting into real estate, I just knew, and I told the guy that was mentoring me, I said, listen, if you show me how to do this, I'm going to show thousands, not millions, because that was my goal.
Yeah.
I've been one of those people in life that when I saw a great thing to do, I always spread the message. I never thought about, in all honesty, competition, or I never thought about competing with anyone. Because I always just competed with myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because sometimes, you know, I remember, I think it was like a meme that I saw, and it was showing, like, I think maybe one of the Olympics, it was like a swimming competition.
Right.
And one of the guys was, I think, looking at Michael Phelps and seeing where he was, but he wasn't focused on his own lane.
Right.
And he ended up losing, obviously, to
Right.
Michael Phelps.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Analogy.
So that's kind of like connected to what you said about, you know, just, you know, focusing, competing against yourself.
Right.
So
I've always competed against myself.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, it's a very, very big world.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of money, especially right now, to be made in it, especially for black people, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because we never really understood a lot of the things that was going on around us until now as far as business go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the longer we focus on business and doing good business,
Yeah.
the better we're going to become. Because, you know, we really only had money since the 80s. In the 70s, we didn't have money as black people. We just, you know, we were surviving. During the 80s, you saw, you know, a little trickle here, a little trickle there. By the 90s, we exploded. So, you know, this is just a really good time to be alive, and it's a good time to be in the business world.
Yeah.
And it's a good time to understand who you are. Because when you understand who you are, what you're trying to accomplish, it just makes life just so much easier.
Yeah. Oh, we can't forget about Black Wall Street now. They did have some money. It was different, but
it was a different type of money.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
It was almost a hidden money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they couldn't be out there flamboyant, or they get the beat down.
Yeah.
You know, again, the fear factor
That's why
played
they
a
burned
lot.
down.
Yeah, the fear factor played a lot in all that.
Yeah.
You know, people they get jealous of you.
Yeah,
And I can't imagine being a black man in money in those days and walking around and feeling I gotta hide the fact that I'm successful. And that's pretty much what was happening. Even though they had Black Wall Street, you gotta understand that's a whole nother day and age. You know, we can't even really relate to that.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, it was a different time, different lifestyle, and just, I don't know, just different everything.
Yeah.
And so, you know, people, I think no matter what the era, will choose to step up to the occasion or make excuses.
Right.
Whether you were back in the 1920s or whether you were in the 2020s.
Right.
So we have to realize that whether you're black, white, Latino,
Don't matter.
Asian, you can make it. I mean, if
I'm
we're to
not
keep it
pro
real,
black.
there are gonna be different challenges. If we're
Right.
to keep it real,
Right.
but at the same time, you can still make it through those obstacles, and you
Right.
can still overcome those
Totally.
challenges.
Remember, I said I'm not pro-black. I'm pro-fair.
Gotcha.
You know, which makes it a whole lot. I mean, I'm really fair about what I believe in, and I'm fair about my position on success. Anybody can have it. But there are a lot of disadvantages, especially for young black men out there trying to make it. You know, so when I see that, I'm not blind to that, and I'm not turning my eye to that. You know, I really see the disadvantages. But at the same time, if you really want to be successful, for some of those who have escaped the poverty, who've escaped the hood, who have gone to college, who have put their time in as far as, you know, the learning part of it, and having, you know, that all comes back with family structure and support. When you look at that, you know, a lot of those guys are able to move forward and be successful, but you're looking at, we still got a lot of broken homes, man. We're still listening to the rap artists, and the rap artists are great, but now there's new rappers out here, and they're called real estate investors.
Yeah.
They're called business savvy people, like the guys who are doing the credit and all that other stuff. There are now people wanting to be on stage and doing things that involves business. So we're basically the new artists.
Elaborate on that. I guess I've never kind of heard that term or terminology or just comparison. Has this a concept that kind of emerged recently in, I don't know, the last 10 years?
It's the awareness. I remember when comedians first came out.
Yeah.
And they were like, you had guys who were singing. That's the only concerts that we knew of.
Okay.
So when comedians came out, they said, man, who gotta go listen to people laugh and have fun on stage?
Yeah.
And this is kind of a little similar. You got the rappers that out there, and they're singing about everything that's negative under the sun, and gang banging and different things like that. And you've got some that are singing great positive things. Now you got the artist called the real estate investor.
Okay.
You've got the artist called the credit guy. You've got different type of speakers who now you got to make a decision. Am I going to go pay to listen to the rap music? Which I love it. I mean, I'm a fan of a ton of rappers.
Yeah.
Or am I going to go listen to
Shout out
the
to
guy?
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. But am I going to go listen to the guy now talking about real estate or talking about credit or talking about something I really need to hear about?
Yeah.
So it's two different types of artists, but you got it's the same spiel. I mean, hey, I got some guys that'll sit you down and you'll be like, they can, just like they battle with rap, they can battle with knowledge, and it's really the same thing. So you're going to see some interesting things coming out. We're going to have some artist battles out here. We're going to make sure some people get in here and understand that new artist. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, have you thought about, what are some ways that you can appeal, especially to, urban communities, as far as, getting interested in real estate? Because a lot of times, when you mention, the rap artists and stuff like that, I think what really gets us going as black people, I would say music is a big part of our culture, obviously, because, slavery and stuff like that, hymns and, got through us, helped us get through a lot of times. And so that's why music is such a big part of our culture.
Right.
So, which means that we're very emotionally charged in that sense of that's why we connect so well with music, whether it may be a positive or a negative message.
Yeah.
And so
I concur.
What are some ways that you feel like you can appeal to the urban community in our ways?
We're already doing it. As I sit here, I'm appealing to you, because just like you want to learn how to do the real estate game and get yourself together real estate wise, everyone else is, even with the credit.
Yeah.
See, some things you don't have to work at, and
Sure.
this is one of those things, because the mindset is changing across the country for black men and women. They're now becoming the businessman. So it's just a natural movement. Whereas before, you had to convince the guy to go out and become self-employed. Since COVID, you've had more self-employed people to come around than ever before. They don't want to go back to work.
Yeah.
So what's happened is that just like you, just like, Carter the closer, people are now understanding that I don't have to go to work for nobody else.
Yeah.
And with that happening, it's just going to be a natural progression.
Yeah. I agree. It's really interesting to see the development, the evolution of just where our mindset is, and just where we are in the spirit of entrepreneurship, seeing more, whether it be real estate people getting into crypto, people getting into investments and things like that.
Right.
I think that's, and just the concept of ownership, really, because if we're talking about you talked about hip hop earlier, Nipsey Hussle definitely instilled that, especially in the newer generation.
Right.
Being a hip hop artist, appealing to the masses, appealing to the younger generation, yet also teaching that message of all right, yeah, I grew up in the street life, but I want you to have ownership. I want you to have, not just working for this person, try to get a stake in that company, try to do this, try to do that.
Right.
So
we got to understand, T.I., Killer Mike, those guys are making men landlords fashionable.
Yeah.
So, they're screaming the message along with everybody else. Most people that make money in life come back and buy real estate. That's one of the things that we got in common. So, it's a fashion now to have to own real estate.
Yeah.
You know, I would live in a house that I hate and I own than a house that I live and I rent. And you know, most people are starting to understand I don't want to be a tenant no more.
Yeah.
You know, this country is being bought up by, you know, other countries.
The Chinese.
They come in here buying 100 houses at a time.
Yeah.
You know, all of our inner cities where the most blacks live, those prices have gone crazy because they put us downtown where all the bad air and water and pollution was, and then they take it back from us once they learn how to clean that stuff up.
Yeah.
You gotta understand what's happening right now across the country is revitalization, and it's happening in every city. It's happening in every state.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta remember, the blacks were put downtown when they first came here.
Sure.
And that's simply because of the fact that that's where everything that was bad was.
Mm-hmm.
We're at a point in our lives now where we understand. I mean, we get it.
Yeah.
If nothing else, we get this. So, you know, it's going to be a gradual change, but it's going to come pretty quick because we just move so quick.
Yeah.
When black people when they get compassionate about something,
Yeah.
it just moves fast.
Yeah, we're very loyal to something. If we like it, we're loyal to it.
We're loyal to it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, people have taken advantage of that aspect of our culture, you know, from a consumer standpoint, but now we are taking that back from an owner's standpoint.
We didn't understand it.
Yeah, yeah.
See, when you don't understand something, you know, I remember as a little kid, something happened in my home, and then some folks coming in and buying it at a real bad discount to my mom, and then she's got to go somewhere and try to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was a lack of education, you know, because she didn't understand her house was worth $100,000, and she gave it away for $20,000. You know, and you know, when I look back at that, it makes me understand how important knowledge is.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, as we grow and as we move around, especially here in Atlanta is just this city is incredible. Mm-hmm. And when the Hawks win the championship,
not if.
when the Hawks win the championship, right?
Yeah.
You know, looking at all the things that are happening in Atlanta right now, as far as the growth and the movie industry and the music industry and the real estate industry, and just the straight up fun. People being able to come here during COVID can really understand and learn our culture and understand Atlanta. Man, it's over.
It's true. That's true. What do you feel like are, you know, in the audience, there are a lot of people who are watching, like, they're just getting started with real estate, just beginning. What are some misconceptions in the real estate game that you could talk about really quick?
You know, my biggest suggestion to you is get a mentor. You know, people get in my business or in this business or in our business, because I'm sure you're going to be in it pretty soon if you're not already in it.
Mm-hmm.
But people get into this business and they don't understand that this is like any other business.
Yeah.
When you started to do what you did, the first thing you did was got a mentor. He showed you how to sit here and do what you're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
And he taught you and he taught you and taught you, and all of a sudden you're running on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing in real estate. If you do not get a mentor, you're not going to move forward. And even if you do move forward, it's not going to be at the pace you need to move forward with.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get into real estate to make money and pay bills. We get into real estate to get rich.
Yeah.
And we have an opportunity and an obligation to spread that to the next person. But the way we need to do that is each one teach one.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta get mentored. There's no way around it.
Yeah, yeah. And mentorship is so important.
Yeah.
And you know, the greatest basketball players and greatest artists have always been mentored. Yeah.
And you, sitting here, you've been mentored.
Yeah.
I don't even know what your situation, I don't know your background.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see that you have some level of success.
Mm-hmm.
And having that level of success, I know somebody showed you how to do this.
Yeah.
And that's why you're moving forward.
Exactly.
Imagine me just jumping in and trying to do what you do just right off the street. So I'm going to be able to, do what I'm doing. It's not going to work out too good. And even if it does, it's going to take me forever to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, would you say there's, so we have mentorship as, one of those things that is much needed. Would you say there's, what else would you say was another misconception that people have about real estate as well, in addition to mentorship?
There's so many of them. Where do I start?
Or one that stands out to you that really irks your nerves.
Don't become a landlord. In all honesty, I don't know about you, but I rented a house before.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
How many times do you call your landlord? None. None. You know why? Because you don't want your landlord in your house. So what people think is by being a landlord, the tenant going to be calling them every day all day long. That's not the truth. You want to be a landlord. Stop being a tenant. That's what you don't want to do.
Yeah. Because
normally in Germany, when people rent a house, they don't call the landlord bugging them every week. They call the landlord only when it's an emergency.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, they're happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the reason being because no one wants somebody coming in their house every other week to fix something.
Yeah.
You'd rather fix it yourself than have a landlord come by.
Yeah.
You know,
true.
You know how this works. So don't be afraid to be a landlord.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a myth.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm just now experiencing that when it comes to being a landlord, just understanding the concept of that. It has its ups and downs.
It has way more ups and downs.
Yeah. And I think sometimes people allow the downs or the negative stories that they've heard to kind of get in the way of them jumping and taking a leap of faith.
Of education. When people are afraid because of what they don't know.
Yeah.
And when you think opposed to when you're educated, then you're always going to lose. Yeah. So because of the lack of education, you know, people, they move funny in the game, you know. I've been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah.
There ain't probably anything in this business I haven't seen or experienced personally. So nothing scares me.
Yeah.
You say, I'm going to sue you. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
You know, you say, I'm going to beat you up when you come to the property. I heard that before.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You say, I'm going to tear your house up if you come over here. I heard that before. You know, so, you know, having the experience of not the knowledge side, but the real experience of the doing side, it eliminates all the fear. You know, so I can look at you in 5 minutes and know if you're in the game, good in the game. You know, so it's a beautiful business. I've been real fortunate to do it. I can't imagine doing nothing else.
Yeah.
You know.
So, you know, what are, like, for all the, especially the younger audience out there, like, what are some, like, 2 practical things that people can do to, like, get started as far as, like, I don't know, whether it be, like, researching or development or, like, what are some things that they can, some 2 practical ways that they can?
I'm going to go back to a mentor. You know, you can go buy every book in the world, but it can't talk about it. You can get every YouTube video in the world, but it can't talk about it. You know, there's so many missing pieces that you have to find somebody to help you put those pieces together, and it's going to give you the speed that you need to move forward. You know, people can't move because they don't know how to move.
Yeah.
So I can give you the best car in the world, but if you don't know how to drive, what good does that do for you? That's the same thing in this business. You can't get around the mentorship. You know, you can give me the best equipment in the world to sit here and talk to people on.
Yeah.
But if I don't know what to do with it, what good does it do me? You can't get around the education side. You know, I can tell you all day long to go put signs up. I can tell you to go door knocking. I can tell you to drive for dollars. I can tell you to, man, what they gonna do when you don't know nothing?
Yeah.
You can't get around the mentorship. You know, go up under somebody's wings for about 30 days. And, you know, make sure that you connect with that person because everybody don't connect. You know, I tell people all the time, you may not connect with me. You may connect with someone else, and it's okay. But the ideal is to make sure that you grow. And when you hit that brick wall, and you're going to hit it, where your knowledge base is equal to your mentor or beyond it, then go find another one. Because somebody's got to push you all the time. I'm always trying to get pushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love getting pushed.
That's good. Any other practical things that you would say to anybody else out there?
Get a mentor.
Mentorship and mentorship.
And mentorship. Hell yeah.
All right. So that's facts. And so it's, you know, I think there's been a lost art over the years of the whole apprenticeship dynamic. Like it was like, you know, when you look at the 1700s, if you want to be a shoemaker, you study under somebody and be an apprentice for a certain time. If you wanted to be a blacksmith, you do the same thing. But I think that art has been lost over the years, and we live in such an individualistic society to the point where sometimes people like, oh, I can just do it on my own, and then they go out there. Some people fail and they succeed, and some people don't.
It's like college.
Yeah.
You know, you could say, don't go to college. But it's going to take you harder to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. You know, I don't see colleges falling out. So a college is an apprenticeship. You know, everybody's saying send your kid to college. And people go to college. That's why you go to college to learn. So that it's not falling out. It's just not, it's a situation where it's more 2020-ish. And 2020-ish means go to college or go to take a course or go take a class or go take a YouTube online. It's just more upgraded and updated. But For me, it's always about going back to the basics. As long as you hang around the basics, you're gonna win. Once you get outside those basics, this is something that people have to be conditioned to do, especially when they call for mentorship. You gotta find a mentor that's conditioned to be a mentor. Everybody not conditioned to be a mentor that's a mentor. If your mentor isn't out running you or out working you, you need to go find somebody else. Because the mentor is supposed to be ahead of you, not next to you or below you. That's not how it works. It's kind of like finding somebody who lift weights, and you go get a guy who you outlifted. You'd be looking like, man, hold on.
Yeah, what
am I paying you for? Working out with you.
Yeah.
You want somebody that's buff, that's lifting, that's doing the job. It's like if you're gonna go run a race, right, and you outrun the guy every time. You're like, look, boxers always try to find a guy who is equal or better to them or know their weaknesses. You have to find people that you connect to, and once you do that, checkmate.
That's so true. And like I said, I agree with you on mentorship and stuff like that. It's helped me to get to where I am in the area that I'm in, and I think what you're doing, it's helped a lot of people as well. And so, how did you get started with House Jerk? Like, how did that concept get started? And tell us about that.
Man, that thing's been called so many different names. It was Curry.
What was the first name?
Curry and Collard Greens. It was Me and an Indian Girl, and then it was House Rescue 911. We were, blah, blah, blah. Then it was House Rescue, and then it got around to be House Jerk. And people say, why House Jerk? Well, the jerk isn't about an individual. It's about speed. You have to move quick. When you see a deal out there, especially in Atlanta, especially right now, you got a few minutes to go and put that thing under contract. If you wait one day, it's gone. So the jerk part is about speed, and that's why it's called House Jerk, because you got to move quick on it. It's going to be gone.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, I think when I first heard the name, I was like, like misunderstand. Like, is he like a douchebag or something like that? Like, what?
Great conversation. Great conversation.
It's definitely gonna start a conversation. People like, wait, why did you name it that?
And it's memorable.
Yeah, that's true.
It's memorable.
Okay.
You always leave an impression on a name. Dennis Rodman was probably one of the craziest players that ever played the game, right?
Yeah.
How many people know him?
The hair, the style, everything.
Hey, he left an impression. He left an impression.
He did.
So in business or in life, it's all about the impression that you leave. I could be the house guy or houses or something simple. Not those are bad names.
Yeah.
But I chose to be crazy.
Yeah.
I do it wild. I do it crazy. I don't do nothing normal.
Yeah.
I lead the pack. I don't follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's like, names can really, the ones that stand out can really help to position yourself in a different arena, like Slutty Vegan.
Hey, who wants to be a slutty?
But man, her business is growing, and shout out to Pinky Cole. I love Slutty Vegan.
Shout, man. She's doing her thing.
She is doing her thing.
She's rocking over there.
Growing and moving in different locations. So, but anyways, as we wrap things up here, we always like to talk and ask our guests, if life was like a house, as you're familiar with this concept. If life was like a house, what would be one foundational piece that your house stood on?
Probably the kitchen, because I like to eat. Or the bedroom, because I like to sleep. But the foundation is really the most important part. And I'm so happy in my life now I understand education and knowledge. Because of those two things, I've never been employed. I've never in my life woke up one day and said I'm going to go get a job. And, when you talk about foundation, the whole thing's got to be solid. And I'm talking about the person, everything. It got to be solid.
If I guess what I mean by it is like if we're talking about metaphorically speaking, like some people's like, oh my house, my life stands on integrity, or that's one of my foundational pieces, love, peace, whatever.
Right.
What's one thing that that yours stands on?
Quality of life. For me, I just want a great quality of life. I want to have a lot of fun. I want to make sure that I live every day like it's my last.
Yeah.
And my quality of life is everything. So
that's good.
I don't want to be in no stressful situations. Again, I'm all about that quality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good deal. And last thing is we have this thing called Question of the Day, where we ask a random question of the day. I already know your answer to this question because I was gonna ask you who you got winning the finals.
Right.
So what I will ask instead is how many games will it take for Atlanta to win? Will it be in 5? Will it be in 6? Will it be in 7 against the Suns?
Atlanta can do it in 6.
6. So
plays great defense, and they have no superheroes, so they're all heroes. That's the game changer.
Right now they don't. Trae Young is, if we were to be honest, he
Trae
is
Young
kind of a
superhero.
hero.
He's a superhero.
Yeah.
But Trae Young plays like a solid foundation team player.
That's true.
Sport.
I can
and he hasn't gotten the respect as a superhero yet. Trae Young has gotten the respect as an incredible player.
Yeah.
And so that's keeping him grounded. You know, I'm talking about when there's one guy bringing the ball down, shooting it the whole time, dribbling around. You know, come on. They don't have that. The whole team is contributing.
Yeah.
That's truly a team sport they got going on there.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. So,
That's
so
what they're
guys, he's got the Hawks in 6.
Hawks in 6
against the Phoenix Suns. So, I mean, I believe, and I just think we have to first get past these Bucks, and then once we do that, we can do it. So, man. Anyways, thank you so much for being on the show.
Absolutely,
and appreciate that.
Likewise.
Yes, sir.
Bro.
Yes, sir. And anyways, if you're out there, make sure you subscribe to this podcast. Subscribe to Speak Your Life, whether you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, so that we can, the algorithm works in mysterious ways, but we'll get the message to other people the more you like this video. So, anyways, thank you so much. And where can they reach you at?
You can reach
Which
me.
website?
My Instagram is I close everything with one E. I close everything. Also, House Jerk, and that's just like to spell housejerk.com. We do seminars all over the country, so we're gonna be in your city. It's coming soon. If you want me to come to that city, hit me up and let me know.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're about to kill it.
All right, cool. Well, you heard from Don Jacobs. So, anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. We love you guys, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Hey, I didn't know you were gonna do that. I was like peace before you.
I do that every episode.
That's funny. I didn't know that. I'm like peace.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Sorry.